I didn't get La Casadilla.
Yeah. That's a lie.
We're marching into madness. This is the monthly news roundup for
November 2020.
This week we're going to be talking about and
RuneScape.
See you soon. Let's get right into it.
How was your November?
Oh, God. Let's start things off with the ongoing pandemic. Real icebreaker shit.
This is how he
Just
picks up.
straight out the gates.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right.
Vroom,
If either of us owned a motorcycle.
vroom.
So, last month, pharmaceutical giant Moderna announced with their balls hanging about how big a deal it is that their vaccine Moderna, named after themselves, has a 94.5% success rate.
Huh.
Strange.
Good. Ha, ha, ha.
So, which is pretty promising and a good sign, actually.
During the Moderna trials, 1,500 participants took a placebo over several months of the trials. 90 of them got COVID. The 11 of them developed a pretty serious form of the disease. On the other hand, another 1,500 participants also got Moderna, didn't also get it. And only 5 of them developed COVID, and none of them actually got sicker. So, bingo, bango. They also said the vaccine had no serious side effects, only mild ones like headaches and or a 5-hour-long boners.
Here, ready for the complicated part? The vaccine delivers a message to the RNA, which is the genetic makeup that sits on top of the COVIDs. The RNA spikes. Once the person has the vaccine, the antibodies of the vaccine affect the spikes of the RNA. And if the person is exposed with the COVIDs in the future, then their immune system will fucking spike that shit right away. Right?
Yeah.
Bah! And it just like breaks it up. The top us up, doctor.
Top us up.
Anthony Fauci said not everyone will get a test during the first wave of distribution in the States because high-risk people will get it first. And as you'll hear, there's a couple logistics issues with how to distribute it. The vaccine should start being delivered to the general population in the second half of December. And just like me, Christmas came early. Bada bing, add all the memes, you're fucking laugh right.
That's some nasty shit.
That's not some nasty shit.
I'm sorry to our female viewers, if there are any. In hacking
Sorry to
news,
all my lovers.
oh my god, cyber criminals went after our boys at the soccer club here, Manchester United IT system in a sophisticated attack. But the attack was failed, according to a statement by the club. They shut down parts of the system to contain the attack. Also, this kind of shit happens very often.
Yeah.
And apparently it's attached to their position in the ranking of their place in the soccer. Premier League. See, I watch soccer. I'm a cultured man.
Premier League. Imagine how
David Beckham.
Imagine the money of the people who have season tickets to Manchester, though. That's fucking bank. That's like
Is it?
good emails to have, man. Multi-million dollars. More money than baseball. So, some unfortunate news. Rapper King Von was shot and killed last month during a gunfight in Atlanta. Gunfight broke out in downtown Atlanta in late November between two groups who were arguing outside of a club. Quando Rondo, taking a nap, popped out, saw King Von. For some reason, King Von, known assassin, decided to try to fist fight him. It didn't end well. So, unfortunately, 6 people were shot, and of those, 3 died, which includes King Von himself. Also, it was noted that many ununiformed police officers just opened fire on the crowd rather than, saying stop.
Oh,
So,
really?
King Von was based from Chicago and is affiliated with Lil Durk. Some of you may know him from like their 2018 collab, and it's kind of a sad story because Lil Durk, even when King Von and shit, like brought him everywhere. It's like sad. I mean, his brother died, but you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Anyways, while finding a vaccine for Corona is a silver lining in all of this, however, that isn't the end of all the bad stuff that is going on with it. Large urban hospitals are going to need ultra freezing storages to store the vaccines because these vaccines need to be in very cold temperatures, like -0 degrees. That's very cold, very hell on earthy. So fuck that noise. And freezers typically do not get that cold. On top of that technical issue, thank you. the freezers range from $10,000 to $15,000 per unit.
Yeah.
So while the urban hospitals may have an issue getting them, they'll still get them. It's the rural hospitals. Yeah. More people live in the countries or outside the cities. They're spread apart rather than urban cities where there's more.
People are more densely populated, so it's easier
I know what
to
I'm
get to a
talking about.
hospital.
Thank you.
Right, so that hospital can have more vaccines versus in the country, too far.
Pfizer will have trouble dealing with that because the rural areas again more populated than urban areas, and the funding isn't there. Urban hospitals are overfunded. Rural hospitals are severely underfunded, and they're dealing with expenses already that are taxing them day to day.
Woo! So,
17-year-old?
17-year-old, I didn't know his age, Kyle Rittenhouse is accused of shooting 2 people during the protest that happened this August in relation to the shooting of another black man, Jacob Blake. During the protest, he was accused of shooting and killing, I forgot that he killed them too, shooting and killing 2 people who were participating in the protest, claiming that he was protecting a business. Because that's how you protect people. You kill them.
You kill him.
That makes me sad. I shouldn't laugh. He faces multiple charges, including intentional homicide, reckless endangerment, and being a minor in possession of a firearm. Because he had that yapper.
17-year-old grandpa.
So, by Wisconsin law, it says that kids can have these firearms, but only if they're hunting, because America.
I like how that's the fucking line.
Yeah, just, just kill animals.
Just because, not people, just animals.
Just don't point it at your uncle or your bud. Okay?
Or do, whatever.
These actions have divided the country pretty much. Gun control is already an issue, and the NRA sucks. So the liberals want a life sentence, and conservatives, not all y'all, just the pro-life ones, calling him a patriot.
Ironically.
Bail fund was set to $2 million because someone paid it. And the interesting part is that mad people are donating to actually get him freed, and they paid it, which is fucked.
I know.
$2 million. It's not that much money when you're talking. This is America.
They could literally solve the financial crisis with that money.
I know, and because he's white, he'll probably only spend a weekend, even if he does have to get acquitted.
Brock Turner, what? Sorry, what?
Yeah, well, Jesus, Brock Turner.
Brock Turner, again,
America.
Research complete.
So, in case y'all haven't heard, or you've been living under a rock, there was an important election to happen down South Bailey.
Which one?
The important one.
Springfield?
Against Quahog and Springfield. And I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Wow, it really didn't go like we expected at all. Wowza.
Biden won.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Wowzer, yeah. Former VP Uncle Joe, creepy Uncle Joe, daddy, or sniffer Uncle Joe is the 46th president of the States of America. Not really sure if we want to say united anymore.
Yeah.
He managed to take this dub when he won states like Pennsylvania, state when, Hillary, you were watching me.
Yeah.
Hillary, and lost it in 2016. He also built the Democratic Blue Wall, which is apparently a big deal. I did not know about this.
No, I didn't either.
Twitter told me this is a big
Yeah.
deal. So the Democratic Blue Wall is made up of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. It has the largest amount of, I don't know. I'm saying.
It breaks up the Pacific West. They lose a lot of the middle of the country votes. So it's a big deal because they're middle of the country states.
That's exactly what I was going to say. But this comes at a cost. The House and Congress are not as decisive as the presidential race. In the House, the Democrats have lost seats but managed to barely win. In Congress, Democrats have lost completely. So this will hurt or make Biden's first term pretty problematic because laws probably won't get passed that he wants to pass.
Yep.
Like sending more nukes over to the Middle East.
Yep.
It's cool though. His VP is a cool, jiving black woman who sent black men to jail for marijuana
And
charges.
she wears Timbs.
And she wears Timbs.
And she
she's
also-
Converses.
Free prison labor.
Free prison.
How
But
else do
she
you think
voted
they're-
for kids, and I can't do that.
How do you think? So, after losing, instead of taking it in stride and with pride, guess what? Our boy started suing.
I'm gonna sue you.
My daddy said I should sue you from the grave. Trump has been suing in states that he lost, claiming fraud within the voter ballot system, mail-in voter ballot.
Thing that he fucking wanted to.
Yeah, the thing that he wanted to make it easier for his rich friends to stay at home and be lazy when they do vote.
Exactly.
However, with no actual claim of widespread fraud, most of his lawsuits were thrown out rather quickly or dismissed due to lack of evidence. And I would throw a case out too if Rudy Giuliani was standing in front of me.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, look at him.
$50,000 a day of charm.
Christ.
And with each loss, it's looking more and more like he lost the election. However, the plan would be taking it to the Supreme Court, but that's not looking promising because you have to get it through a normal court first. So it's more like a fantasy now since cases are being thrown out as we fucking speak.
And when this comes out, it'll be already spoken for.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Rudy was sweating all the time. So the best part about this was when his personal lawyer, and here we go,
The boy.
former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani claimed, and as you put, and Borat star Rudy Giuliani. That's crazy how we already forgot about
The
that.
main guy, yeah.
Claimed the Democrats were cheating during a press conference at the 4 Points Landscaping Facility, which is quaintly located between a sex shop and a taxidermy store.
It's funny because they were supposed to do it at the hotel, but they screwed up and they by accidentally did that.
That's jokes.
And they leaned into it. It was like, fuck it, it's fine. Jesus. Following in the saga of this fucking election, Trump has been tweeting out misinformation. This comes after him firing high-ranking officials, and when he was golfing when he was actually losing. Presidents historically do bad decisions on their way out.
Yep.
Things that they want to do. He began tweeting about Dominion, the company responsible for making software and hardware materials for ballot counting for this election and many other elections in the past. This information was given to him by a far-right news organization, American News Network. Stop staring at me, Bailey. On November 12th, in all caps, he tweeted out, and the president falsely claimed that Dominion deleted 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide, citing that OANN, American News Network.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it again. He tried to make the connection between those pesky Clintons, which any reasonable person can, and Dominion. Every time I think about Dominion, I think about Domino's.
I think of grocery store.
I think of pizza, which was untrue and was fact-checked by Snopes. Dominion has come out and said there weren't any errors and there weren't wasn't any voter fraud, but there are small errors. It's what happens during a normal election. You get these small errors for a complicated system. But nonetheless, Trump began tweeting out, and it forced Twitter to put those little tags that said misinformation, blah, 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 blah. Society.
society.
We live in.
The U.S. may be rejoining the Paris Climate Accord after Biden's win last month. He wants back in, Jack. Let me back in the door, Jack. Come
Let me
on,
have
Jack.
corn pop.
I got a pair of Ray-Bans for you in the fucking whip. This, of course, comes after Trump formally forced the states out of the agreement on November 4th, while Biden claims we will be back in by February.
That's what she said.
What does this mean, though? Not that joke like this one.
I don't.
So, the states are the biggest force behind the accord. They did establish it after all. So, to them, coming back would be a big deal since they contribute the most financially and probably to the actual carbon. The accord is a pact that is a non-binding clause to keep the globe's emissions well below 2 degrees Celsius or 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit for you imperialists out there.
All right, man. Let's not attack our viewer base just yet.
Why 2 degrees? Because according to the 20019
2019. Okay, fuck you.
UN scientific panel going on, 2 degrees or over will cause massive flood crises across the globe.
Massive food crisis.
Food crises, probably floods as well, though, to be fair. Global temperatures have already risen 1.2 degrees Celsius or 2.2 degrees Fahrenheit since pre-industrial
Lovers.
and the atmosphere is on track to warm up by 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 2 decades. The Paris Agreement is a pact signed by 200 countries 5 years ago to work together to avoid the worsening of climate change. But will it happen, Ross?
Will it happen?
I think not.
I think it will.
Because what the fuck happened to the Kyoto Accord?
I don't want to yell loud again. That was a good joke. The first time I said it.
It wasn't recorded, though.
Damn it. With so many countries attempting to develop a vaccine and I forget what the story's on. Oh, this is that
It's
one.
the same one.
It's going to be something when spreading it across the world, right?
Yeah.
Because of FedEx, these days we expect.
Many problems are going to come out of this, like vial glasses. Is it a vial glass story?
Like when we're talking about the logistics of shipping.
Oh yeah, which is an already slow process. Now there's only so many manufacturers who made said vial glasses, and they'll need to go into overtime just to meet up with production.
So you need super cold freezers as it is. You need glass that won't blow up into super cold freezers.
Yes. If they can also solve this issue, the next one is quickly spreading it to the countries and figuring out the logistics of that. Temperature control is a must, and they need to get pretty cold, as we said before. FedEx and UPS both have cold storages. FedEx has a head start on us because they built their cold storages when H1N1 was happening. And they're going to be building many, many more, but it'll be expensive.
And scary.
And scared.
And the trucks, man. The trucks. We need trucks to move this shit from hospital to hospital. That's the fucked up part.
Yes.
It has to stay that cold. But I've got a new one.
I didn't realize that.
This story is basically America trying to intervene in another country's shit. Like, same old.
Yeah.
Right? Same shit, different day, kiddos.
Watch our show.
We'll start dealing with the opposition in the Venezuelan government, which was exiled in Spain. So, you ready for this? The American-based fucking e-currency, AirTM, and Circle to facilitate the distribution of funds to healthcare workers in the northern part of the country, as well as on the coastal
Of South Venezuela.
in the northern region of the southern coastal part of Venezuela. So Venezuela has had an election last year where Juan Guaido won election, taking out Nicolas Maduro. That's
Murdo.
way too French. That is not Spanish. With COVID already hurting the country's economy, this new form of cryptocurrency will help the country. The funds are in U.S. currency or backed by, so they don't lose value. Plus, it's easier for money to go out to people who need it the most, but it's also terrifying because now the states have their own cryptocurrency.
And that can control-wise.
AirTM works as an app, so the people can get the money without dealing with the bank and they can go and get USD rather than local currency, right? So World Bank, who that?
Who that? America that?
America that. Jesus, I'm terrified.
Did that work as a joke? So, you know what's pretty cool from personal experience, Bailey?
No.
E-scooters. And e-scooters are becoming very popular. Well, you know, shared e-scooters, you know, where you can ride.
Because we don't own anything as millennials. That's
Yeah.
why.
They're on track for their 500 million ride globally and are already outrunning Uber out of all things.
Yeah.
Because instead of paying Uber, you can just get a fucking scooter and then zoom across Toronto.
It's quite fun and convenient, and
It
you
is.
can't do it here yet, though.
5 things have been done to skyrocket the industry. Launching in 2017 and set in many cities which have about 36 million rides, and more than half of them come out of New York and the last
Yeah.
yeah. It's even making waves across the Atlantic in Italy, England, and even Ukraine has joined as well. It makes sense in those cities because they're closer.
Yeah,
Closer
it's
set.
quite convenient.
You
It's
go
just
zoom,
that
zoom.
waste. They end
Zoom,
up
zoom.
fucking everywhere.
Zoom. All right.
They end up everywhere.
Another way of innovation is customizing better parts and making scooters on their own rather than to rent. The Bird company behind this e-scooter launched its Bird Zero scooter, which is fully customizable. So Bailey can get that Too Fast, Too Furious decal. I can get that Yu-Gi-Oh shit going on my thing. Another thing is safety. Safety is a big thing for Birds. So big is that when they first launched, they gave free helmet to people who bought their scooters. Plus, they have an ongoing progress report or safety report. So the safety is everlasting. It doesn't stop. It changes. Keep on changing. And the next one is building an infrastructure for these scooters so that they can coexist with cars and avoid accidents. And in a lot of European cities, I saw they have lanes that are big ass lanes that are for scooters, and they just avoid roads or cars and shit completely.
It's because they already had scoots.
The launching of this program in New York and in the UK could start a wave of many more innovations. Plus, we could see other companies like Harley Davidson, car companies, even bike companies like Kona, Speed, Supercycle, all that shit.
So what if you have like a mashup of the Proud Boys and like traditional bikers, and then you've got e-bikers?
Yeah, there's a South Park episode waiting to be written about.
There you go. So
about
you
that.
know that weird store you see on Facebook that sells the fucking craziest sex stuff and some other shit and knockoff Magic the Gathering cards? Well, if you don't, they're called Wish. You've probably seen them and didn't even notice. They are going public as much like many other tech companies in the season, kind of like Roblox.
Which is weird.
The kids probably play Roblox. Those Robux about to be worth money. Making a whopping $1.7 billion thus far in 2020. Wish has really gone off. They're just selling those ball tweezers. Don't ask me how I know.
Okay.
This can be thanked to Rona and the pandemic. People were staying at home and began shopping at home. And the more, I got no more ball tweezers. The same can be said about Amazon. Give me a good Wish product.
Ball tweezers.
That doesn't help. Looking back from 2017, Wish made 1.3 billion, and in 2018, 1.7 billion. Yeah, that's not that big of an increase. In 2020, it had a 30% break, which I don't know what that means, but hopefully it's good. So the company is expected to grow because the pandemic is still here and people still nasty and buying weird shit on a
Stop buying weird shit, please. Jesus.
And don't fall for the knockoff Pokemon cards. All
Have
that
you
shit.
seen this shit on Wish? I've seen like pants, and they're like so fucking tight. With many conservatives, on Twitter leaving Twitter, claiming Twitter is against free speech, they have slowly made their way to a new app, Parlor, which is a Twitter clone. It acts like Twitter, but instead of I believe there's more than 240 characters now, or 140 characters.
Probably.
But it defends free speech, unlike Twitter, apparently. So that's the other big thing. So since Trump's loss, the app has climbed #1 in the Android Play Store and in the iOS store.
Damn.
And many prominent conservatives are making their way like Newt Gingrich. I couldn't find any other prominent conservatives because in my research, I don't know why.
It's one of those who were like
a
shitty
mood
at,
base. You want to make most of the users of the app are banned from Twitter, like right out the way, and the apps and many of the users on the app are apparently white supremacist QAnon members. Watch out for the episode later on in the season. And then Nazis are apparently there as well. The app acts as an echo chamber for conservatives, basically. Fun fact, yesterday, prior to recording this, Parlor was hacked apparently. And in order to sign up for Parlor, you have to give your social security number. And in the States, that's like your identity.
which is ridiculous because like people would already gonna hack that as a troll. So why the fuck would you?
Fucking funny though.
Terrifying news: the platypi population has gotten smaller. Over the last 30 years, the habitats of down under, that is
Australia,
has lost 22% of its habitat
How is
and
that?
is now a threatened species, the only mammal to lay eggs. Now fucked. Quite sad. So the University of South Wales and 3 other organizations, the Australian Conservation Fund and WWF Australia and the Humane Society International
Of Australia.
of Australia.
I forgot to put that in.
International of Australia or the Australian Humane
No,
Society?
Of Australia.
Okay. Platypi or platypuses are sneaky little buggers. So they're hard to track. And to really understand how many are left in the wild, you have to go digging through a lot of little puddles.
Yes.
I fucking love them. The research also found that since 1990, the habitat has shrunk. Are you ready for this? 100,000.
Come on,
199,919 square kilometers. I got it when you shut up. Or 22%, which is most 3 times the size of Tasmania.
Almost.
Yeah. It is most. It kind of works. It's just old school. The reason being is climate change, land clearings, and drought. So it's all attached. Imagine trying to find one of those poor little buggers during the wildfires. I would feel so bad for the little platypi. They're eggs.
Is it platyp? What's the singular? Platypi?
Platypus is singular.
So plural is
Platypi.
Platypi? Platypi.
Like octopus, octopi.
Yeah, I got yeah. So more news in how humans suck, and this one's actually kind of interesting one in a bad way, though, not a good way. This time, Mount Everest. You know, Bailey,
It's
the
terrifying.
world's highest mountain, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's become the latest victim of pollution. Tiny plastic fibers, where I can't stand straight, were found within 100 meters from the top of the mountain, bro. Isn't that insane?
Aquaman was right.
Yeah.
Aquaman was right.
High amount of plastics were also found around the base camp, where climbers often spend their time preparing for the climb ahead or other shit. The fibers most likely came from clothes, tents, and other climbing stuff like ropes, boots, gloves, you know, whatever keeps you warm and that shit. This can also be found on other mountaintops like the Swiss Alps and the French
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees. So Pyrenees,
Something
the
close
French.
to that.
This is basically a pattern for when plastic was found in the Marianas Trench in 2018. Not the band, but the deepest point on the Earth. But the band is also trash.
Jonathan Wilkinson, the Environment and Climate Change Minister, has introduced a bill
We just
that
ignore
will
that one.
force the federal government of Canada now into the future to set themselves into a binding climate change target that would see them, the government, meeting a net zero
By 2050.
Not happening.
Yes, it is.
You still got to
Don't
get
be a
rid
Debbie
of the nuclear
Downer.
power plants
Don't.
up the street.
I believe in Trudeau. I
How
believe
the fuck
in
are you gonna get rid of a whole reactor? So if the bill is passed, it would mean the federal government would have to get a 5-year goal over the next 30 years so that the target can be met, which is very unlikely.
You're
'Cause
just
I hate the government.
What was that? Environment.
That's my emergency confetti. This new legislation is good though because the libtards promised this. to be more aggressive with cutting them greenhouse gases.
So stop farting.
Reaching this goal means that 30 years from now, all emissions in Canada are going to be absorbed by planting more trees, technology, and things like carbon capture storage and other systems. Like one I saw was using algae and fishies to create an urban fish farm that produces algae, and the fishies eat the algae, and we eat the fishies, and it's like good for all of us. When Trudeau randomly tweeted out to plant 2 billion trees, again, a random number.
What was a random?
And out of all the promises, like, you know, clean water to indigenous peoples, no, he planted all them fucking trees, bud. Just remember that.
Let's kept it.
Let's remember that.
Remember in his re-election, I planted the trees. Alright? I got you, fam.
And I legalized weed.
Yeah. Out of all the bad things that has come out of COVID, there's some positivity to look at, right? This year's carbon emission has fallen dramatically. Like, we've done a good.
Yeah.
Nature was healing, if you will. But sadly, to say in the grand scheme of things, it didn't slow down. It slowed down a small amount of the concentration of emission. The lockdowns did do something, so there was some progress there. Emissions fell by 17%, but again, you know.
It's a big picture.
The big picture
folks.
thing. This is great, like grassroots shit, but you know these backhanded comments are sure fucking just wiping them right up. CO2 emissions will rise, but it'll be at a slower rate. Again, not that much, but it's a start. You know, let's keep on having these fucking lockdowns.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
Slowly kill.
Slowly kill off the planet. Yeah. So yeah. Pop culture.
So sad. Remember Drake Bell from Drake and Josh? Not Six God Drake. Like,
Yeah.
Like the one from the Amanda Bynes show.
Right.
You remember that? That's
Yeah.
All that.
Like he was
Like
like
Keenan
that
was
stoner
on
guy. Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that guy, he's back.
That's Amanda Bynes.
He's back. So, he's changing his whole thing up though. He's now Drake Campagna because that's how you say Bell in Spanish. Well, I think my name is Bailey Corleone, which means wisdom.
It doesn't actually mean wisdom. It means oh god.
And I'm pretty sure I said an Italian word, not a Spanish one. So this whole thing can be taken as like he's well liked in Latin America. Well, we suppose. I wouldn't know. I presume. Speaking of Forbes, when asked why he's leaning heavy into the Latin side of things, he said, "Well, everyone's making money off of Latin." I'm kidding. So it's only time the record he previously did really well in Latin America. So I've spent a lot of time here, and the fans have been so incredible, and have become my strongest base yet.
I'm becoming Mexican.
It's because I can't understand what they're saying.
They're like being like shut up, like they're talking, tell them to shut up.
You really think Drake Campagna knows how to properly speak Spanish?
Oh yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
so. Saying that his 2006 album made him popular with that demographic, and it felt natural to get into.
Doesn't lean naturally into Mexican, becoming Mexican overnight.
Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
Where's Josh?
Being skinny somewhere. Last month, a big deal for culture, bro.
Yeah.
Hypebeast brand Supreme has been bought by VF corporations in Brazil for $2.1 billion. And of course, I guess people care and are divided.
Well, because it could demean the value of the collection.
It was
I
already.
could have spent $100 on my white t-shirt, and now my white t-shirt that I held on to for 5 years is worth 20.
Oh no. The reason being is because people think they sold out, however the case can go against them. Why would you be spending $50 on a white t-shirt? That's my question. The same company bought the Vans brand in 2004 for $396 million, and from 2008 to 2013, the revenue grew from $750 million to $1.7 billion. They made so much money because they kept the shoes and other clothes at a reasonable price. Even luxury brands like Givenchy were making their own slip-ons to compete. They were pretty goddamn ugly. Does the brand expanded and opened stores in China, Mexico, and India. So that's why I see a lot of Indian people wearing Vans. The thing about VF corporations is that they buy brands, but they let them run on their own independently, and it looks good. It looks like a good deal for Supreme and its base in the long run. So everybody's happy.
If they
Everybody
can sell,
happy.
If they can sell us vans in North America for $40,
Yeah.
imagine how much they can sell them for in the country where the sweatshops are.
Yeah.
Imagine the profit margin on that. Jesus Christ.
Remember, capitalism is good for you.
John Wick may be back as playing Constantine in a sequel, surprisingly.
Mr. Constantine, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
So I would follow up first saying that the movie came out like over
Walker.
a decade ago, but rumors began when Keanu Reeves, the guy's real name, started to say it, but J.J. Abrams said no because they're doing a reboot for the Warner Brothers. Which
It didn't happen.
I just want to see a house of mystery, mysterious house. That's all I want. So Peter Stonmore, who played Satan in the first movie, may have confirmed a sequel with an Instapost. That is.
He's not
hearsay.
going to do the edits, but I'm going to do it.
I will try. I do okay. I would probably just go over top because I'm lazy. If any of these rumors are true, we could see Reeves coming back to the action sci-fi genre, which made him famous in the late 90s and well into the 2000s.
Ooh, we're going to get cool Keanu back.
Because I
Not
think-
rom-com Keanu.
Cyberpunk, and then this.
The
and then
Matrix.
John Wick. And the Matrix will be after John Wick.
Lil Wayne, Trump supporter, rapper, follower of Christ, was charged last month with possession of firearms and ammo as a felon
For
in
the second time.
Miami during a trip.
He's already been to jail for this.
Really?
Remember the whole Free Wheezy thing?
Oh
And
yeah,
Drake
like a
became famous?
minute ago, yeah. As a felon, he's not allowed firearm during travel, but he was found high and said he had a gold-plated gun on his luggage last year. He said he had a gun. He got the gun as a Father's Day gift. I don't. All right.
It's different. It's proud. You got your pride in your.
However, the real issue was that they found heroin plus more on the plane, and all the ingredients to make them purple drank. Yikes.
Like he already shot himself when he was 13. That's what Lil Wayne is famous for. So it's like
Yeah.
a little ridiculous there, and literally went to prison for gun possession, not even gun charge. So it's like he's getting charged for the same charge, and he might have to go to jail
For a longer time now.
for a longer time
Yeah.
for just having a gun. When you're that rich and like anyone can hold the gun. Bucket, wrestling legend or whatever, The Undertaker officially died last month. Well, not really. He just retired.
You're about to.
And according to the WWE, not F,
Yeah.
is real.
This is
Mark
nothing.
Calloway
Real name.
was been in the industry since the 1990s when he was the star of the WWE Survivor Series.
The Undertaker, who just gave The Undertaker the tombstone, is going to give him another one.
With Chris Benoit.
But probably, actually.
Yeah.
That would have been the era. The 55-year-old said during his final farewell, "For 30 long years, I've made that slow walk to this ring and have laid people to the rest time and time again while flexing on my motorcycle and wearing really big hats." He told
He
fans
said
from
that?
the ring, "Now my time has come. My time has come to let the Undertaker rest in peace," even though that's what he did the first time.
I was gonna say like the Undertaker has undertook the last time.
I know.
But then I made fun.
During his farewell, many older superstars like Triple H and Big Show appeared alongside him. All I want to see is
Eddie
Rey
Guerrero.
Mysterio. I want Rey Mysterio, and then
Randy Orton
I can
and
finally
Chris.
get revenge on Val and Shaquille in my dreams by watching Rey Mysterio beat
Oh hell yeah.
Triple H.
Well, that's super white trashy, but hell yeah. I got you, fam. As many of the cases happen when you get a new console, you're bound to run into some unexpected issues or expected issues, especially if the console just came out and you're getting the launch day ones, right, Kaylee?
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you? All right.
I was gonna swallow.
That's what she said. Both the Xbox Series S and the PS5 are facing issues from crashing to disk rating issues. For games in Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty are also having issues on the consoles. The rest mode right now. The rest mode and quick resume are causing problems, as well as things are not appearing on screen when they first launch the console. One Redditor opened console, Xbox, powered on, didn't even turn on. And the Call of Duty has actually been playing the last generation's versions on the new consoles, which is sketchy. However, things still load quick, games are running quicker, but the PS5 turns off when it's extremely hot apparently. So there's that. Again, this is what happens whenever a new console drops. You're the fucking beta tester.
Yep. You're simping for
You're
Sony.
simping for, and Microsoft.
Simping.
You're like,
That's a good episode title, Simping for Sony.
Actually.
So, you were lucky enough to get a console. Well, lucky you. Looking at you, fucking jerk.
Well, you also got a pretty good rig.
You got a PS5 or something. You got one of them.
Yeah.
If you're a new PS5 owner, this one may hurt. But reports have come out that a noisy fan and problems with the disk drive during installation are your plight to deal with, you foolish humans.
I had no issues yet.
A software issue, like games uninstalling themselves after being installed. But that's not the only one. Hopefully we'll have more later. The good thing.
Hopefully
is
we'll
that
find more problems.
Most of these issues have been solved, but it shows nothing is perfect just yet. So I don't dish out the 6 bills right away. But it's still too early to tell if these issues will cause a bigger problem for the company, just like the red ring of death with Microsoft, which we disagree on, but I think was handled quite nicely, even though it was a terrible issue. Fucking, we'll give you the free Xbox back. Like right away, you send that shit in. I got a new Xbox.
If it was under warranty.
Just fans ain't paying no warranty. I just send the shit in. I get Xbox.
I think that's a
I send them a note and say, give Xbox. They
give me
Xbox back.
me white, give Xbox. Now for the Series X, it's not having a good time either. For many people, saying the disk drive won't work, which is the main thing about the Series X. Otherwise, people would have gotten the disk drive less Series S. Is that confusing? Series S and S?
Yes,
Yeah.
extremely.
Okay. The disk gets stuck halfway in the drive. Sadly, Microsoft hasn't offered any issue. Again, this happens when you're buying a new console at launch, as I've said in the last story, like 4 times.
Yeah, we've emphasized this point. Calm the fuck down and don't be a pleb.
Yeah, popular free-to-play battle royale Fortnite found another way to take money from 8-year-olds. Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
That's what Epic does.
Capitalism
Yeah.
called Fortnite Crew at launch with Season 5. Players can now sign up for a subscription plan for $12.99 a month and get stuff like perks and stuff beyond the Battle Pass. So, Bailey, my Fortnite mobile player,
Call of Duty.
Fortnite mobile
May
player.
as well have the same monetization stage.
What's in it? That's what she said.
Skins and I don't know, a few V-Bucks.
Ah, you're close.
Close?
Close. It comes with the Battle Pass for the full season and the current season, plus 1,000 V-Bucks, so you're spot on there. Each month, and you'll get new outfits that are unique to the subscription service. So get cracking, kids. Make sure mommy and daddy's credit card is still valid and up to date. You'll need the three numbers at the back called a CVS number. Plus, flip it over, and those main numbers you'll also need on the front and the expiration date.
And then you'll need to go to Gmail and type in marchinginthemadness@gmail.com and hit type in repaste those details.
Oh my God! Don't do that. Just buy V-Bucks. Don't give us
keep
money.
a security archive. All right.
Cash out app us though.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Venmo us.
You can't get Venmo in Canada or Cash App.
PayPal us.
There you go.
PayPal us.
PayPal or MoneyGram.
Money? Is it instant?
MoneyGram is like just the hipper version of Western Union.
MoneyGram us, and it is also owned by Western.
Oh, yeah, it's just the newer.
Same parent company.
It's just easier, techie. But who the fuck cares? That was our news roundup. Thank you for joining us.
Hope you're being safe.
Hope you have just as much of an existential crisis as us, because this was a rough one, man. The environment's getting fucked. The politics are getting fucked. Rest in peace, Maradona. We missed that. The fucking soccer legend. I know you give no fucks about the football.
I know
This man's like an
dude
Argentinian
was like free Palestine. And shit like that. I saw on Twitter, he was like, I'm a Palestinian at heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
shit.
always fighting for them. He was a good soccer player. He's an honest human. He was a big inspiration when I was a kiddo. So shout out to the Nar gangs in Argentina. Don't ask how they ended up there. A bunch of Germans in Argentina. Don't ask about that, but you know.
Then why bring it up? No. Yeah.
Shout out. Hopefully they listen.
Shout out
that
to
would be
the
really cool. Bell.
to Bailey's.
Argentinian family. Rest in peace.
Are they
Maradona.
Argentinian?
Yeah.
I think you and I had a discussion.
They're like half
you
Argentinian.
may be.
Yeah.
You may have some a little bit of troubling family history. Are you sure about that?
It's not troubling. It's good. It's good. Hopefully it's good.
All
But
of my
nonetheless,
family history it's just been taken over.
I don't know. There is Urdu Nazism.
There is, but not on my parents.
You don't know. They could have been in a club or something. Their
Not-
grandparents. Who knows?
I doubt that.
So,
Too brown for that shit.
this was what happens when you have two people that know too much history about each other's cultures. They can call out some pretty annoying facts. Thank you for watching.
Like Christopher Columbus.
Ideally, we got a Patreon. If not,
Yeah,
you can chastise us.
We do. It'll be in the link down here. We have one. We have set. Why are you sighing? We've been teasing this for the last 12 months. We are going to be coming out with a Patreon. It's out. Hopefully by the time this drops, it'll also come with that.
And hopefully, we're also rich by this time.
Next week?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you again. Have a safe month. Follow us on our socials. On Marching Into Madness's Instagram page down here.
Yeah, that's the
Everything else
main
is
thing.
down here. I'm sweating.
Shout out to our friend who's helping us out. We're no names, but I appreciate it. Our fucking Instagram's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody supporting us thus far. We just passed our 1 year.
We're doing pretty good. It's
We're doing
picking
pretty
up.
good, yeah.
With
Slowly.
time. With time.
What time?
With time.
What time? What time?
With time. Thank
time.
you, folks.
Thank you. Okay. Merry Christmas. Be safe.
Coffee time.
Coffee time. God damn it.
What?
Oh.
That was good. Okay, 3, 2, 1.